Testing. Actually, I should probably speak a little bit farther back. Testing. Let's hope the volume's a little more audible this time. Alright, how about here? Can we hear me here? Testing. Yeah, sorry about the volume last time. It was, I calibrated on my phone, and apparently my phone can crank up the volume pretty loud. So it sounded normal, but when I went back and listened to it on my PC, it was almost inaudible. So, how about here? Hear me here. Alright, I think we'll just go ahead and get started. I haven't given it a full 10 minutes, but that's alright. I got a lot I want to cover, hopefully, and get to some more creative stuff as well today. So, today we will be covering how to set up Lipsync with Oculus Lip Sync and the Voice SDK's TTS module and some Synty characters. So I've loaded up Synty shops. Synty actually has a really good faceplate for its characters, but one of the problems is it requires the Synty Kids module. So I want to create one from scratch that doesn't require what is it, $150 asset just for the faces. And we'll probably rig up the ones that come with the kids module too. I have them, I just want to show a way to do it without having to buy that just for the faces. Although I do recommend buying the kids module, it's pretty cool. Lots of good stuff in there. Alright, so I'm going to find a character. We'll do waffles, sandwich and sushi. Set up some kind of shop. Arcade zone. So this is the Synty shop asset. Lots and lots of stuff in here. It's a good asset. The only things I have imported so far are the Oculus integration package and Synty shops. We'll work off of this demo. There should be some characters in here. Well, I don't see any in the demo scene. But I'm sure there are some characters in here. Yep, here we go. Santa Claus, shopkeepers. We'll go with this one. And we'll do this. Where do we want to, what store do I like the best? Do the best burger. Alright, so we've got a shopkeeper for the best burger. Let's get our camera. Alright, we're probably going to want to have some sort of idle animation, so maybe we'll set that up first. We'll grab something from Mixamo. I'm trying to do this with just the one paid asset, so that you can see how this would be done without buying more than the shop's asset. So we'll start out, we'll go to Mixamo. And we'll find maybe a wave animation so we can wave when it says hi. Let me log in quick. All right. Nope. My cat pressed a button. I don't know what she pressed, but she pressed something. What do they have for shop? Shopping cart dance? If there's anything for clerk. Alright, let's grab a regular idle. Then let's grab a wave. Actually, stop pressing buttons. Hat. This won't work. A little. I don't know. Maybe the shorter one is better for a clerk. Although he kind of ducks. And we can remove the ducking. We can do just the arm and keep the idle pose. Maybe I'll show you how to do that too. Alright, so we've got a wave. We've got a. I'll grab both just in case I decide I don't like it after all while we're here. And let's see what else. Let's get one more talking. Grab that one. That one. That one. But I think we'll probably cover doing random animations, and we'll cycle through random phases of talking as well. That should be good enough for now. All right. We're just going to drop all of these in an animations directory. So let's get our project ready. Yeah, so you'll notice, oops, where did we go? You'll notice when you open these up, they'll all be kind of in this pose. It's just because Mixamo animations are not humanoid by default. You go down to rig, change it to humanoid, apply, and then we can drag in our female attendant again. Now the animation's working. So we just have to do that for all of these. The other thing we need to make sure that they're doing is they're looping. So make sure you have loop time checked. And I like to rename these because they'll pop up, it'll be easier to find in the animation controller. So we'll call this one talking one. Change the rig. call this one waving long so we can kind of tell the difference between the two. Good, I'm not muted. Test. Okay. I'm gonna get my monitoring up so I can tell if I forget to switch or something. All right. Yeah, the last stream, it'd been a while since I streamed. I made all kinds of stupid mistakes. I left it on a blank screen for like 10-15 minutes at least. Volume level was all messed up. It was not not a good stream back, but hopefully this will be in better shape. Right. So we've got our animations. Let's create an animation controller. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna create. We're gonna drag in our idle as the entry point, and then we're gonna want to have it transition to waving. Do I want to randomize it? I can randomize it. I'll just keep this one simple for now. Transition into waving. We need a trigger for that. And then we're going to create a blend tree for this next part. We're going to call this talking states. Then we're going to add a boolean for talking. Hit 3. I'm just going to put this in a 1D. Okay, we're going to create a quick script from this so it picks one of the talking animations at random. We'll call this Oops. Alright, let me get the... Make sure I've got the code view set up properly. This is the part where we run a high risk of me leaving you in code view or vice versa when I'm doing something else. Alright. So in here, in on state enter, the hotkey to remove these, I don't remember what it is. Whoops. Wrong button. Right, anyway. We're gonna come in here. And in the state enters, we're going to take the animator and we're going to call that floats. Random range 0 to 2, and we're going to call this current talking animation to match the value that we set in the parameters. This time, every time it enters the state, it's going to pick one of the talking states at random. And then we use cache property because it's faster, more efficient. Then we should be good to go on this file. So really simple, easy to do randomization to give it a little bit more life. All right, go back to our animator. Let's make sure that we've got that on here. That should randomize every time we go into that state. So let's move this down here. And let's see what happens. Did I add on to my character? Where's the character? I'm going to drop all these in a parent. I don't accidentally select them. All that's seen. Turn off touch so I don't click on anything I don't want to click on. All right, so if we go back to our tenant, got the shopkeeper control, so we should now be able to hit play and see her stand there and not do a whole lot. All right, so if I hit talking, it's really slow because it has exit time, which is going to talk. Go through the whole talking animation, and it's going to stay there on loop. All right, so there are a couple things we need to do here to fix. First off, we want to turn off exit time, so instead of waiting for the idle animation to finish, it actually it transitions straight into talking. So we'll go do that here. Uncheck has exit time. For this one, we don't want to actually wait. We want it to go back to idle, and then we want it to come back in because we set up the on-state enter to change the current random animation. So the only time it's going to happen is if we enter and exit that state. So we're just going to go back to idle, and then the talking state may still be true, and it'll go back into the next talking state. So if I hit talking, transitions immediately into talking, plays that animation, goes immediately through, and you can see the value is random. We used to random float. We don't want to use random float. So if we go back to the code, we want to go 0 to 3. So it's using the integer one. The integer one is min inclusive, max exclusive. So it'll go 0 to 2. All right. So let's restart. Let this rebuild. All right. We're watching the value here. We turn on talking. Goes to 2. Now 0. You see it's randomly picking one of the talking animations. So that'll give it just a little bit more life. We may do that for idle eventually too. Idle gets too boring. Although this idle doesn't have a whole lot of movement, so it's probably fine. Okay. So for our wave, one thing we might want to do is grab a quick character controller and throw it in here. So we can see a little bit more interaction. So maybe I will throw in one more asset, go into Asset Manager and find, I guess we'll try Game Creator 2 again. Shouldn't take as long this time as it did last time to get it set up. Then we can rig our character to be a Synty character. So we'll have 2 Synty characters talking to each other. Of course, I forgot to save, and I've had 2021.3 crash on me on import a couple times lately. Music got a little louder. Hopefully it's not, the balance is okay. Alright, Game Creator 2 is imported. Gotta flip over to the new input system. While we're waiting on that, let's look at the faces on Synty. So these are the faceplates. We're going to create something similar to that. We're actually going to use the faceplates, I believe. So it says it requires kids. I believe it requires kids because that's where the textures are. So we're going to be using this kit. Let me make sure I have it downloaded, which looks like I do. So they're the faces for reference. And the texture, I mean, the textures are really simple. That's why we're going to create these from scratch, just because they're not overly complicated. And we're going to follow the base textures that Oculus provides as part of their Visemes. which are that's basically how the shape of the mouth is handled. So we'll create something like this in GIMP and we'll use it. I haven't actually done this yet, so we could totally crash and burn, but I think I've got everything figured out. So there'll be a little bit of experimentation to go with it. All right, so we'll just stick those there for now. Looks like always automate modules. Yes, yes, yes. Save that. I should have created a new save, but I don't want to lose it. The background here is from Midjourney. So I've been totally addicted to Midjourney for the past few days, and spent some time last night with the family just coming up with ideas for things we wanted it to generate. And this was one of them. We went through, this is, I believe it's Old West steampunk with aliens or something. And we had a whole series of those that were just really cool. All right, so welcome. All right, so we should be done with Asset Manager for now. We need to make sure we've installed. We want characters. I'm hoping this just installs all the dependencies too. It'd be great. All right. So one thing, we're gonna actually go into the docs real quick and see how they say to do this. Is this for 2.0? Yep. Okay. Well, we'll just wing it like I normally do. Okay, game creator, cameras. All right, we're gonna let game creator create all of our stuff. So let's do game creator, cameras, main camera, game creator, characters. Oh, we want a player. There's our player. We'll start kind of at the edge of the food court and make our way in. So let's play on that and see if I think I'm still missing the camera shot. And so I think that'll stick us behind the character at least. Yep. All right, we fell through the floor. But we have a character. We can walk up to the station. We can see. I'm gonna turn down my headphones. They're really loud. All right. I'm gonna do a quick volume check because I haven't done it in a while. Give me just a second. Alright, I think it's okay. Alright, so let's look at the stats on this. This is going really slow. We're going 6 or 7 frames a second. Yikes. This is definitely something on my end. We should be seeing more like 60 plus frames a second. Maybe it's because I have the camera shot selected. Oh yeah, already that's a lot better. There was that preview that was going on down there. We're still only at like 13 frames a second, but this particular demo, we don't really need to worry about that. If there's something going on with my PC, it's not Synty, it's not the mannequin, it's something specifically going on. This happened last time too. Frame rates were just abysmal. Alright, so move this up so maybe we don't fall through the floor. No, I don't have music at all. Okay, music's still going. I think it's pretty low on the stream. But at least I can hear it. Alright, there we go. We spawned in the right place. I think we want to try and adjust our camera shot's distance a little bit. There we go. We probably want to make this go up a little so we can see our character we're talking to. Right. So now we should be able to more or less see our two characters interacting. So I want a target zoom, 0.23, Y value of 1. We'll go a little higher. Maybe even 2. Oh, I like that. Just 1. Target zoom, 0.23. Alright. So the next thing I want to do, in the old, one of the things I really liked about the old game creator was they basically had a drop thing to drop in the model, and I don't know if they have that anymore. I haven't found it yet. So let's grab another Synty character. Perfect. Chopper male. Drop that under mannequin. They're using complete locomotion. We'll turn off the mannequin. Save what we've got. Play and see if that makes a difference. It may still find the mannequin instead of the shopper, but we'll see. There must be a step to connect them. Yeah, so it's not letting me move. Alright, so we delete the mannequin. Let's see if I can find any references to him in here. Just checking that there's no hidden drag top or drop target somewhere in here. Alright, let's see what happens if we delete the mannequin. Nope. So there's definitely some wiring here that needs to happen. Animator references, no. So somewhere in the player. Alright, so I think we can do this. Whoops. Delete the mannequin. Reset this. Go back to player. I guess I want the mannequin. I'll reset this. And we'll reset this. Yeah, it's got the reference to the mannequin. Let's give it the animator. Alright, good on that. Oh, there's the drop. That's what we were looking for. Okay. I figured they would have left it in because it's just really handy. So this will rig everything properly. There. Awesome. All right, so we have our shopper. All right, so the next thing we want to do, let's go ahead and rig up basically an interaction zone that'll trigger our whole TTS rig to start. We'll get her to wave, and we'll start the script. So let's go and create a new empty. We'll call this shopper trigger zone. Box collider in here. And then I'll give this a 1 by 2 by 1. And maybe we'll give it a little extra space. All right, so trigger zone, when we walk into this area, she'll start talking. So let's create a script called what are we gonna call this? Shopkeeper. All right. Now, there are a lot of ways you could do this with Game Creator as well, but we're going to do this kind of more direct in code because not everybody's going to have Game Creator, and I don't want to have to go struggle to figure out how to do it myself. All right, so we want to create a mono behavior. We're going to call this shopkeeper. Okay, we'll call. We need what do we need for our shopkeeper? We want the shopkeeper's animator. Let's see what else. So on trigger inner, we're going to want to trigger the animator to wave. And maybe say hello. Let's call this greet. And just for convenience, we're going to add in the Odin button so that we can click on this from the UI. We may not have this. Don't worry about it. It's not particularly, I mean, it's very useful, but it's not required by any means. You can add a button however you want. All right, so we greet the customer. We're going to call animator dot trigger. And what do we call our trigger? We need our, we call it wave. So we've got a cache property index called wave. So she's going to wave. And then we need to set up TTS. So to do this, if you're on an older version of the Voice SDK, you'll actually have to go grab this from the sample scene and drop it in. On newer versions, that should be out by the time most people end up watching this video. You should be able to go to Oculus, Voice SDK, components, assets, create, Voice SDK, there's Voice SDK, TTS, and add a default TTS setup. This is just a default TTS setup that's basically ready to go with a TTS speaker. And one thing we're going to do a little bit different is we're going to grab this speaker and we're going to actually stick it on the attendant female, because what we want to do is I forgot to switch to the display. Had to happen. All right, so what I did again, assets create, Voice SDK TTS, add default TTS setup, and I added this thing. So I'm going to take the speaker from this and I'm going to throw it on my attendant female here, and I can throw it on her root. But I'm going to actually throw it on her head just so it's coming from her head. This is a VR, we're not really going to be able to tell the difference, but I'm going to put it there because that's where I expect the sound to come from. So the TTS speaker is on her head. And next we've got to go to the speaker audio. The other thing you could do is you could move just the audio. Either way, I'm going to put the whole speaker in here because I'm going to associate it with that character. And so we'll go in here and we'll turn on spatial blend and we'll max that out. So when we're facing her or near her, we'll be able to hear as we walk away. If she's still talking, her levels will fade. All right, so the other thing we need to do is we need to add a WIT config for this. Your TTS will not play without a WIT config. So that should be in here. WIT configuration, so let's create a data folder. Voice. All right, so we've got our voice folder. Let's go create, there should be Voice SDK. And we're going to create a configuration. We'll call this TTS config. And we're going to go to wit.ai, and you're going to get app and grab the server access token, which I'm not even going to pull on the screen this time because last time I had to wipe my config and it messed a whole bunch of things up. So let's see. I think I'm just going to use the shapes demo for this for now. With TTS, you just need a valid server or client token. It could be any of your apps. You don't have to have a full Voice SDK service app set up. You just need a valid token, so you can create a new empty app, and that'll work. All right, so that should be that. Now we need to go back into our WIT service and drop our TTS config in here. And I believe we should be good to go. All right, next, let's go back to the code. And we need to get a reference to our speaker. And then when we greet the customer, we're going to have it speak, and we're just going to have it say, hi, welcome to Best Burger. Let's see. We're going to want events for when these finish. Finish speaking. Because we're going to bring up some dialogue here. So we're going to want on finish speaking to trigger when we're basically when it's done. All right, but we're not going to do anything with that just yet. But we do have it set up. Let's save that and let's go back to the display. Wait for that to compile. And then we're going to go. One thing I forgot to do on that trigger that we created, shopper trigger zone, got to make sure its trigger is checked. Otherwise, the on trigger enter won't fire. Right, so now that that's checked, we should be able to hit play, and I think this should work. Oh, we got to set the references first and add the script. Shopkeeper. So then we need our animator. Yes, I did switch. Good. And our speaker. Alright, so now if I hit play, we'll test to make sure that everything's working first. I'm going to move the game down here. Alright. Well, we'll walk over and see what happens. I don't know if it'll fire. Hey, she's waving. Do I have mute audio turned on? Alright, so that's good. We're already good to go with that. We can walk up. She says hi. At least she'll wave. And then I'm not hearing the TTS yet, so we've got to debug that. That may just be audio on my end. I'm not sure. The other option, you can click this button at any time and she'll do her thing. I think. I clicked it. There we go. She waves. We should hear the greeting, but we're not. Why are we not hearing the greeting? Okay. Let's turn off our spatialization for now. Make sure that we can hear it. And it could be a volume level thing on my PC. Yeah. I don't know if that volume's loud enough for you all to hear it. Maybe I should check that. Turn off those. So you'll notice it's currently a male voice. We've got a female character, so we'll fix that. Let's go back to our shopkeeper. All right, I'm going to mute myself and see if I can hear it on your end. All right, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I can't hear it on my laptop. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I can't hear it on my laptop. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I can't hear it on my laptop. Here's what I'm going to do. This is kind of janky way to do it, but audio pass-through seems to be broken. I'm going to turn off my headphones so you can hear through my speakers. I'll have to look at this problem later. Here's what I'm going to do. This is kind of janky way to do it, but audio pass-through seems to be broken. I'm going to turn off my headphones.
Hi, welcome to Best Burger.
So you can hear through my speakers. I'll have to look at this problem later. All right, so it was there. It was really quiet, but you could hear it. So we currently have a male voice. So the TTS module has two different voices that you can use, Charlie and Rebecca. We're going to switch it over to Rebecca. Right. So it was there. It was really quiet, but oops, forgot to mute. So the TTS module has two different. All right. So now I should be able to go in here. Let's go to the speaker. So default voice is set to Charlie. We want to choose Rebecca. We're also going to call this Rebecca. We'll probably add a Charlie as well. We may add another NPC. We'll see. Anyway, so Rebecca, Charlie, now that these are set up, I should be able to walk over and talk, and we'll hear Rebecca. There are a few settings in here that you might want to change. There's formal, fast, projected. These are actual styles, so it's more about how they speak rather than just changing the pitch. So it's like at some point you may see happy or sad or angry or something pop up in the style. Speed, pitch, gain. Again, these are all little things you can tweak to get your basically your actor a slightly different voice, since there are only two voices to work with. You can also apply some Unity DSPs. We're not going to go into that today to add additional filtering, but those are relatively CPU intensive. So we're just going to go with stock Rebecca for today. We do the mute thing. You hear what Rebecca sounds like. All right, I'm going to pause the music because I don't think you guys can hear it anyway. And it makes it harder to hear Rebecca talking. There we go. Oh, TTS is pointing at the wrong voice because we renamed. We need to switch and choose the right preset. Save because we have not done that recently. All right. Over here.
Hi, welcome to Best Burger.
There we go. There's Rebecca saying hi. Anytime my cat hears me talking at this particular desk, she has to come over and sit in my lap and try to nudge my hand and type and whatnot. He's a very affectionate cat. Okay, so we've got Rebecca set up. Now I think the next thing we want to do is have her take our order. So, how do we want to go about doing this? We basically want to have her say a few things. So when we have the mouth move, or when we set up the lip sync, the mouth moves enough that we can tell what's going on. All right, so we'll go in here on finish speaking. I'm gonna create just a basic script here. A voice script. We'll call this line. And then delay. So this delay is going to be the delay after they finish speaking before it allow the next action to happen. And then so let's go in here. We're just going to set up our script. And then start. Oh man, sorry. All right, so let me go back. This is the script I created. Really simple for voice script. It's basically the line and the delay. We're just creating a bunch of script lines that you can say. No logic or anything. We're just going to do a really simple script so we can get more than a couple lines at once going, and we get to see the mouth move a little bit more. You can do whatever you want with this. We're just doing something to give us a little more content. There is a limit on the number of characters you can pass to TTS, so this just gives us more content. All right, so it starts. Have a reset script to do this. Do that here as well. Eat that bug. Great. Everybody knows how to fix the bug where it basically copies an infinite number of space when you use your clipboard and writer. It occasionally happens. It's just my clipboard's trashed. Q. All right. So we'll reset our scripts whenever you walk into the trigger zone. So everything's set up. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove both of these. Maybe. I'll move this one. Remove this one. Then next scripts. So all next scripts. Start a coroutine for that first. Zoom in a little bit, where this may be hard for you to read. All right, so stop all the coroutines. We'll call next script. New. Wait for seconds. We'll give this a early return. That works too. Right. So essentially what's going on here, we're going into next script. We're grabbing the line that we've got, and then we're going to delay, and we're going to say the line. So the next thing, I've got all of this basically set up so we can set up a set of script lines that we wanted to say, put a little delay between, and just kind of script this out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go back to my monitoring. All right, so script's ready. Back to the display. The compile, I believe, has finished. Go back to our trigger zone. We've got script lines. So let's add a couple lines to the script. The line, I will say, welcome to Best Burger. And then let's have her wait maybe half a second. Let that sink in, the welcome sink in, and finish our wave, and then we'll start talking again. We'll say, we have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get? And then add another line. Give it a 5-second delay for the fun of it. Say, one thing, I don't have the scripts window up, but what I just did in reset script, I added a script queue clear line to clear out the queue when we reset the script. So if we do go in and out, it'll make sure that it doesn't start in the middle of a script. All right, and so we're just going to wait 5 seconds, and then we'll say, okay, we'll act like they made an order in 5 seconds. 1 burger. French fries and a large drink. Clean up. All right. So now we'll be able to go in here and play. and we'll hear our set of lines.
Welcome to Best Burger.
Oh, so one thing we forgot that's pretty critical. Right, we also want to put a delay here before I move on to that. Let's give this about a 1 second delay to really get the wave in there. And then let's go back to the code. On finish speaking, we want to trigger the next line. And then maybe in here, just so we can see it on the log. Okay. Greet our customer.
Welcome to Best Burger.
Yep, exit time on here. Oh, okay. That's why that's taking so long. It matters how long the idle is. Again, exit time if you want something to happen immediately. No, don't stand on the keyboard. Okay, so now I should be able to go back to our shopper trigger zone. Let's greet our customer. Waves
Welcome
immediately.
to Best Burger.
Waits that second before saying hi. Then theoretically, we should be going into our next line in the queue. All right, so let's hit the debugger and see what we did wrong. Turn on the debugger up here. I'm gonna stick here. Oh, this is probably it right there. What warnings are for. While we're in here, I'll just show you. I added this line here, so if we reset the script, we make sure we clear the queue before we reset up all the lines. So I don't think I didn't put a breakpoint in. Let's go ahead and recompile and try this again. Greet customer.
Welcome to Best Burger.
So you see the delays happening.
We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
Then more delay, it'll be another 5 seconds.
Okay, that's one burger, French fries, and a large drink. Coming up.
All right, good. So that works. The one thing you may have noticed in the corner here, it didn't actually go into the talking state, so let's go ahead and add that. So when we go in, let's add another event. We're on start speaking. Is that bug where it does weird things with spacing when I copy and paste. So in here, we're just going to call our animator dot set bool. What do we call that? Called it talking. True when we start and false when we stop. Get lucky. Am I going to be able to copy and paste? Yes. Good. And I forgot to create the cache. Okay, so when we start speaking, it's going to set the animation state to talking, and we should see her change her gestures to a talking gesture for the duration of however long she's talking. Then go back to idle when she finishes talking. All right, so I'm going to go click on my shopkeeper. Maybe I'll just walk over. Oh, we'll walk over.
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
There we go. See the talk.
Okay, that's one burger, French fries, and a large drink. Coming out.
And she goes right immediately into idle as soon as she stops talking. So, depending on your game, this may be plenty. You may not need to go beyond this setup, and you may not need the actual lip sync with Synty and some of these animations. You kind of get the general vibe. We want to go a step further, so we want to add in lip sync to this so that we can see the mouth move as they're talking and give it just a little bit more personality. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. Let's see. Did I add in? Create a folder. And I'm going to drop in those faceplates that we downloaded. So if you remember, this is what the people look like. Oops, don't want to do that. We drop this in here, it's going to look something like this. Basically a untextured mask that can go over the player's face. Or, oops, don't want to play. Over the character's face. So we go into here. We want adult female. We'll just drop that on the head. See, it just kind of fits into place. Top of the head. And it's good to go. So the next thing we need to do is we need to create a texture and create our mouth. So to do that, there are a couple things we need to figure out. One, we need to figure out so let's open up the FBX in Blender. We need to figure out the how they have the faceplate UV mapped so that we can draw properly. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to open Blender. And we're going to open up these faceplates. We're in FBX. And there's our faceplate. Let's go into UV editing. And there's our plate. So to create a texture that's going to work for this, I'm going to export. Or am I going to export? I know there's a better way to do this, but let's see. UV. Remember where it is. Export UV layout. Yeah. So the adult male. And we're just going to find our project, wherever that may be. Take me a second, hold on. I'm going to have to actually figure out where this project is. I don't know what the path is. Textures. Show that in Explorer. Copy that path. Exported my UV layout. So we're done with the adult male. Now we need to import the female. Probably should have done first because that's the one we need anyway. All right. So then we'll go to UV again for UV layout. All right. So we should be done with Blender. And now we need to move on to GIMP. All right, so we're in GIMP. Now anywhere within this bounds is essentially safe. We're going to create a new layer. Did I open the adult man? The adult female. Don't need the male female. All right. So now we have a template. We can create a texture. I want to go about doing this. Create a smile, I guess. Create a new layer. Let's see, where on the female's face? Here. Nose, so I think the mouth needs to go centered here. We're just going to start out with a big smile. Outline. Something like that. All right, so then we're going to select the magic wand, shrink that. And we want that one to be black as well. We want this one to be more lip colored. We're just kind of tweaking this for now. Whereas go. Oh. Crank up the lightness. Our hue over to something maybe pinkish. For the lips. We're gonna go look at. We're gonna redo this entirely. Right now, we're just trying to get a good idea of where things fit. Saturation a little bit. Okay, so let's go back up to this layer. Select. And we're gonna go to a rectangle. Do the top teeth. There's another new layer. Select. And we're just going to fill this with white. And go back to our shape. Do it again. Bottom teeth. And we're going to fill that. All right, there we go. Open mouth smile. Just something basic to get us started. So now, we just want the smile, so we're going to turn off the template. I'm going to export this as smile. Or maybe laugh. This could be a laughing face. When we get to the actual Oculus Lip Sync portion, they actually have a laugh phase. We'll call this laugh for now. Okay, back to our textures. Let's create a material. Oops, I want a directory for that. Our textures and our albedo, which and I think we probably want it to be cut out. Yes, perfect. Look at that. All right, now our Synty character has a face. Maybe a little creepy with the way eyebrows are currently positioned. A little bit of a creepy smile, but that's all right. We're on a roll. We've got our face going. It's roughly where we wanted it to be. Now we can create all the Visemes that we need. So, to get Lipsync going, we're going to need to import. So you'll notice I only imported the Voice SDK earlier. I wanted to make sure I could show you what you need from the Oculus package for this particular component. So we're going to go to Tools, Asset Manager. Well, I have Tools, Asset Manager. You're going to go to your Package Manager. And not right now. Then I go to integration. I need to go to an interactive import because I don't want to replace my Voice SDK. Right. So we're going to deselect everything. And we just want the lip sync package. Shouldn't need anything else. Probably want the spatializer. That was one of the reasons the spatial audio was not great. You're going to want voice as well. If you're doing this from scratch, I've imported voice ahead of time, but you need lip sync and voice for what we're doing today. Right. So we've got that imported. So we go to Oculus Lip Sync. And here we should be able to find. There's basically this robot. And this robot is really the example we're going off of. It's got mic input, which we don't need, but it's got the lip sync context, and it's got a texture flip. So what that does is it flips between textures. So these are the textures that we need to recreate. So if we look at these, they're silent. We're basically going to kind of use these as a template to get our face to kind of match. These probably aren't going to be perfect. And we might want to do a little bit more Viseme research on what they're going to look like, but we'll at least mimic the shapes of these and get our face in place. In fact, if we want to just see this work, maybe we should start out with the robot face applied just real quick. They're all the textures are going to be in the wrong spot, so we're going to have to move them anyway. Okay, well, yeah, we'll do it. It's going to look really funky, but we'll get it in place just so we get the basic setup before we spend all the effort to create individual mouths or individual Visemes ourselves, and then we'll go back into GIMP and create the Visemes. So I need to first, we need to add. We need a lip sync interface. And then on our character, we need a lip sync context and a lip sync context texture flip. So maybe we should do this on the mouth. On the faceplate. Lip sync context. That's an audio source. I really don't like that. We don't need an audio source here. We're actually going to hook this up to, well, yeah. Actually, we do want that. But maybe we put this on the speaker. And then, yeah, let's do that. That'll be a better setup for this. Remove this. And we'll remove this. Let's go to the speaker. Since it has the audio source, we'll do the lip sync context. And then we'll do lip sync texture flip. And our material will be the face. And then we're just going to drag in all of the robot faces for now. Alright. Anytime I've got a lot of dragging and drop to do, I like to make sure I move my inspector over to the left. It's just easier to find. The PP, want the FF, PH, want DD, want KK. CH. S and N. And if you have the kids pack, they actually have most of these already done for you. You may have to fill in some gaps, but you definitely won't have to create all of them. And it's okay if they don't match perfectly anyway, because it is a texture flip. It's going to look a little weird. You can get away with a little bit, but the closer you get, the better it looks. All right. think that should have us set up. Pretty sure. I think this will update all of the faces. Yeah, I think it'll work for this demo. You'll want a material instance in here, not the actual material, unless you have a dedicated material for each character, and then it'll work. But we won't go into that. There we go. So our robot, it definitely looks funky. But you see what it's going to end up doing. We definitely have lip sync working, even though you can't hear it at the moment. I'm not sure why you can't hear it at the moment. You should be able to hear that. Oh, loop back. So audio loop back. This is consuming the data, and I think it's blocking it. So I think if I turn that on, we should be able to hear the voice. And we're going to come back and we're going to grab this lip color. We're going to widen the lips a little bit, I think. But we'll get there when we get there. Right, let's try this again.
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
Like I said, it's not great, but it's good enough. And so when she's quiet like this,
Okay,
the silent will go with.
French
I'm actually
fries,
going to, for silent, I'm going to go purely transparent and use the existing lips. And then we'll draw our mouth on top of it when she's actually making mouth movements. All right. So that's basically how we get lip sync set up. Now we're just going to jump in and we're going to create the mouths to make it fix. But at this point, it's going to get a little repetitive. So you'll see me create them. You can feel free to skip or whatever you want to do at that point. But I'm going to go ahead and do this, and it'll be on the stream if you want to watch it in 2x mode or however you want to get through it. I'm going to start, and I'll keep talking, but I may go a little quiet to accelerate this process a little bit. Show and Explorer. I'm just going to pull these up as a reference. A. One way to do this is to look at your mouth as you're saying the sound that it's making. And for me, kind of need a couple things I think I might be able to do to accelerate this. I might be able to morph the mouth rather than reconstruct it each time. With the cage transform. Maybe I'll start out with an ovoid mouth and then manipulate that. Hold on, let's do a quick search for Visemes. Where's my... This might actually be a good reference. Finding something in here. Or... I wonder if we can find an open source version of this. Save ourselves a little time. I think we'll use this as a reference, and then we'll create it ourselves, and then I can release it for you to use. I like the one that had... kind of like these. They fit. All right, so let's do one thing. Find our texture here. I'm gonna do a quick... I'm gonna... Screenshot key's not working. Why is screenshot not working? I don't have a screenshot key. All else fails, screenshot on another machine. Weird. Okay. All right, we're just gonna make up the color. We'll get it as close as we can. I think we're already basically... We'll just go with this color. It'll be fine. And then when I can get the actual color working, I will. So, how do I want to go about doing this? If I was a Photoshop master, this would probably be pretty easy. Not exactly complicated. But I'm not. Where's our... characters, and we need to make sure that we're looking at this list, know what the Oculus requirements are. So you won't be able to see it. I'm going to drag it a little off to the edge of my screen so I can read it as we go. So I think AEI is the equivalent of the AA, and then we can use this for most of the other ones. We'll cover AA, we'll cover E with the EE, O, the O. I think we'll just cover these to give us a base to work with. All right, So got AEI, so we'll save this as AEI. We'll go AA for this one. No, this is inefficient. We'll do it this way for now. Pilot. So I want to grab the lip color. We want black, we want white. But we're going to need black first, so let's see, where's ink dropper? We're going to go ahead and use whatever color this is that we the right layer. Right, so we'll use that for our lips. So next, let's do CH. Cha, cha, cha. So I think that one is just narrower. Do that one pretty. So I'm going to merge this down. Merge this down. Copy. Merges. And then so CH, this one over here. We're just going to grab the scale tool and we're going to squish it. Scaled. I keep switching between versions of GIMP and I can never find anything anymore because some of them have a reduced tool palette and some of them have the expanded tool palette. There it is. So we're just going to unlink this. Push it in. Probably grab a guide. Oh, 124, we need. We probably want a center for our mouth too. Right. So I'm happy with that for PH. So AI, is that the tongue? Or is that the. I think that's the A. I think that's the teeth. I think we're fine. Right, let's do O. What do we want to do O? I think O, I'm just gonna take what we've got here and I'm going to mirror it. Layer. call it this. This was CH. This is O. Select. Paste it. There. H. Paste it one more time. Then we're going to transform vertically. And we're just going to kind of do. Then maybe we'll scale this a little bit to kind of get rid of some of the pointy. We merge this down. Well, not so bad. No, we really want this to be rounded for. So maybe even up, down. That. Cut that. Layer. Fill that layer with flip color. We're going to grow. Oops, shrink. I just got to patch these over here. Probably be doing this on my drawing tab. A little easier. All right. Oh. Profile. That one is O. Which one? O. OH is how they labeled it. Oops. Export as. They actually have the teeth kind of curve with some of these. Maybe I'll do that. This will work. All right, so we've got O. Let's do E. Which is different length AEI. Back to these. Bit of kept a copy. This one we said was A. this one. Oh. So E is somewhere. E is actually really well. We should put A and then do. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll export this as E. And scale this. Duplicate it. This one A. A little bit less. And then we're going to replace RA with that one. I'm going to go ahead and save this whole file before I lose it. Okay, so next we need B. B, B, B. Do we have a B? O, P. I can say what we've done already. Oh, I guess. Okay. So CD is one with the tongue. So this will be our first one with the tongue. It's roughly the width of. It's somewhere between E, C. So maybe we go with A, and then we add a tongue. We're gonna need new color. This is tongue behind the teeth. Add a layer. And we'll duplicate A because I think we're just gonna use this one. And we'll add a layer on top of that. We'll make our tongue look something like this. And then we'll make it a red tongue. Or maybe we should do pink. Pink or red? So for this, tongue is behind the teeth. Probably duplicate this. If we want the tongue to always be the same shape-ish. Tongue behind the teeth. This is CDGK. How does that match? We've got a K. KKK. What does Oculus do for the K? My tongue, when I say K, they do a really narrow mouth. K. KK. N. K. 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 I guess my tongue's kind of up and the mouth is narrow. E. C. 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 G. K. N. Oh, we'll use N. This one looks like it works really well for N. That. Right? For TH. Down. Call this one. What do we call this? This was N. A again. And then let's duplicate the base tongue. And then that one, they have it, the tongue on top, so we'll call this TH. E. R. R. Alright, we did CH already. Got TH. R. Maybe we'll do for R. We'll make the bottom teeth a little bit smaller, and maybe make the lip a little thicker. And starting with double A. Keep hitting the Unity duplicate key, which I guess is a hotkey to zoom out. So for R, we'll make the bottom teeth a little smaller. We'll add a little bit of bottom lip to it. R. Pinch the lips a little bit more. Try this. A little bit of manipulation. I use this tool. Just like the tool, I'm thinking of Photoshop. Yeah. Gonna maybe make that RR. All right, so there's our R. Ooh. Right. So OU, I think we'll match it to this O here. So duplicate what we had for earlier. We have here's O, and we'll just delete the top teeth. O, I need the bottom teeth too, and go with the tongue. O, ooh, ooh, yeah. So delete top teeth. Ooh. And we probably actually want to scale the whole thing down a little bit. Like pierced lips. Fix the shape a little. Okay, duplicate our base tongue. We'll need to scale and get into place. I think something like that. Ooh. Little tiny bit of a tongue. Right, so we did TH already, we did R, we did ooh, do I. So I will start out. I think we'll do this again. that. Those lines. Hi. Yeah. Going a little bit different this time. Yep. Access. We're going to reduce the size of the teeth. Okay. A little more hardness than that. Almost fit. This stuff up. Right, now we need the tongue. Get our tongue. On. Adjust its positioning a little bit, maybe make it a little skinnier. We have it going behind the teeth. I think we'll want to manipulate it a little bit. Um, Grab our teeth. Definitely too wide still. Do this with a scale. It's not giving me. Right. That was a long way to go about eye. Right, I think we have enough. We can kind of fill these in. Let's get an update. Let's see how we're doing. So we need to go back to our value here. We've got AA. We've got silent. We've got TH. We've got H. E. IH. N. S. 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 All right, I want to do one for S. S. Gonna be similar to this one. S. Maybe I'll keep the tongue. but we don't want the bottom teeth. Yeah, the other teeth. I'm kind of close together. I'm just gonna hide behind the teeth. We're gonna give myself more manipulation handles this time. So we're gonna take this. So I'm gonna do what I want. I think what I want. S. Top teeth bared. Upper lip up. This. Close. Something like that. Ah. Right, I'm gonna cheat. Yes. Oh, it's a funky yes. We'll go with it for now. All right, we have our S. Funky as it is. D D D. For D. Where's our default? Cha. Yeah, we'll use N for D. Ka ka ka. Alright, so we need R. We need O. We need OU. Okay, for F, we need one with the lips. It's kind of like the MP one. That'll work for P. F and P, what we'll do, go all lips. So start a new layer. Our lip color, we need to turn on A, so position this about right. And we want rounded corners. Increase radius. Fill that in. Shrink it. Like that. How this is going to look. But that's what we're going to go with. This is going to look funky. So this will be F, and then we'll shrink it, and we'll decrease the width for P. Oops. Our F, and finally our P. All right, that took forever, and I rushed the last one. We ran out of time, and I'm sure that was tedious to watch. We've got all of our Visemes in here. Let's go ahead and hit play and see what we get. I may have to go back and adjust the lip color and other things, but this will be better than the robot mouth at least. And now you have a good idea how it works. Right.
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
Yeah, that's not bad. Silence is...
Okay, that's one burger, French fries, and a large drink. Coming up.
Alright, that actually looks pretty good. So I need to fix silence because it had teeth. Visemes silence. But we got it. You should be able, let's hit play and see what this looks like. So somehow it took the whole time, almost. I mean, we've got another 20 minutes that we can do to, but I think most of that would be import, so I'll probably just cut it short. We set up trigger zones. We can walk up. I'll do this in full screen in a minute, but let's take a look at the.
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
I'm gonna go silent on P as well, and F. I really don't like that. It just looks messed up. And then you can actually, I think what I would do for those is duplicate the base lips, which I'd have to find the right texture for, and then go with that shape. So let's go back in here, and I'm just gonna put silent in for P and F because they're more or less the same. All right, let's see how that looks. maybe it'll look a little less creepy. But the black space is really it just doesn't need the lips need to be shaped a little bit differently. They're too round. All right, let's try this again.
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
Why is silent? The lips. I wonder if it's getting overwritten for some reason. Okay, well maybe I'll put something outside of the map. All right, let's see if that fixes it. Just put a little mark outside the bounds of the mesh, just in case there was something weird going on with the transparent texture. It would, but
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you?
yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, that's one burger, French fries, and a large drink. Coming up.
I just need to modify the base mouth and remove it or something. And probably put that in the silence faceplate. Because we also have it showing through the teeth. We can fix that by adjusting the height of the teeth too. But we're out of time, so we're not going to do that today. All right, so let's go full screen and let's see this as a customer actually walking up. Save this.
Welcome to Best Burger. We have the best burgers in the mall. What can I get for you? Okay, that's one burger, French fries, and a large drink. Coming up.
All right. Well, that's it. So, today we made progress. We got a mouth built. We got the lip sync working using Oculus Lip Sync. We built all of the Visemes in a very tedious process, but I feel like I like the results. They're great, or at least good enough. If you're in a pinch and you don't have the kids that have all the textures that you need. So yeah, that's where we are. Let me go over to the outro. All right. So we covered everything I really wanted to cover. I would hope to get to a little bit of scenery work, but that's proving to take some time. So, but we got mouth built, everything